So if you'd like to know who the wicked one is that rules this kingdom, I'm about to tell you. It's actually in a verse in Corinthians. Let me read that first. It's really important. I can't. This part in this verse about being unequally yoked. It's important not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So that's how I came across this. Let me show you. This is Corinthians. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers, for what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness, or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has Christ with Belial? Get to that in a minute. Or what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? What agreement has the temple of God with idols? For we are the temple of the living God, as God said, I will make my dwelleth among them, and I will walk among them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Therefore, go out from their midst, and be separate from them, says the Lord, and touch no unclean thing. Then I will welcome you, and I will be a father to you, and you shall be sons and daughters to me, says the Lord Almighty. So people really need to be praying as much as possible now, because there's many people, especially corruption. Corruption leads to these demons. So literally, when God is warning through prophets in the Old Testament, wherever, in the Old Testament, a ton of saying to the kings, stop this. You're bringing death and destruction and slavery onto yourself. It's literally not that God does it. It's because once there's too much corruption, there's more corruption protecting the plane, because there's more of that being protected and not enough people speaking up or praying for God to intervene. So it's really important, okay? It's literally not. That's just how it is. So Belial is he's the wicked one that runs this kingdom. So a little bit about Belial is a term. It's a term occurring in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. Interesting, that God that left me all those messages on Rumble. Yeah, it was all about the Hebrew Bible. Okay. So is a term occurring in the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, which later became personified as the devil in Christian texts of the New Testament. And then you see there its alternate spellings. In the secret book of John, an early Gnostic text, the ruler of the underworld is referred to as Belial. The 68th spirit is Belial. He is a mighty and powerful king, and was created after Lucifer. He appeareth in the form of two beautiful angels sitting in a chariot of fire. He speaketh with a calm voice, and declareth that he fell first from among the worthier sort that were before Michael and other heavenly angels. His office is to distribute presentations and senatorships, and to cause favor of friends and foes. He governs 50 legions of spirits. Note well that this King Belial must have offerings, sacrifices, and gifts presented unto him by the exorcist, or else he will not give true answers unto his demands. But then he tarrieth not 1 hour in the truth, unless he be constrained by divine power. And his seal is this, which is to be worn as aforesaid, etc. This is the seal. There's a lot about him in the Dead Sea Scrolls as well. So it literally, it says, so here, this is from the Dead Sea Scrolls. Quote, but for the corruption thou hast made Belial. So because of the corruption, we make it. He's an angel of hostility. All his dominions are in darkness, and his purpose is to bring about wickedness and guilt. All the spirits that are associated with him are but angels of destruction. Let me show you this, the ascension of Isaiah. In the ascension of Isaiah, Belial is the angel of lawlessness and the ruler of this world, and identified as Samuel and Satan. And Manasseh turned aside his heart to serve Belial, for the angel of lawlessness, who is the ruler of this world, is Belial, whose name is Manichabucus. And this is from a book. It's a bunch of Belials. It says here, also in the Dead Sea Scrolls, is a recounting of a dream of Amram, the father of Moses, who finds two watchers contesting over him. One is Belial, who is described as the king of evil and the prince of darkness. Belial is also mentioned in the fragments of a Zodakite work, which is also known as the Damascus document, which states that during the eschatological age, Belial shall be let loose against Israel, as God spoke through Isaiah the prophet. The fragments also speak of three nets of Belial, which are said to be fornication, wealth, and pollution of the sanctuary. In his work, Belial is sometimes presented as an agent of divine punishment and sometimes as a rebel, as Mastema is. I'll do another video about that one. It was Belial who inspired the Egyptian sorcerers and their brothers to oppose Moses and Aaron. The fragments also say that anyone who is ruled by the spirits of Belial and speaks of rebellion should be condemned as a necromancer and wizard. Belial's presence is found throughout the War Scrolls and is established as the force occupying the opposite end of the spectrum of God. The first line of the document, it is stated that the first attack of the sons of light shall be undertaken against the forces of the sons of darkness, which is the army of Belial. This dichotomy sheds light on the negative connotations that Belial held at that time, obviously when this was part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. You made Belial for the pit, angel of enmity. In darkness is his domain. His counsel is to bring about wickedness and guilt. All the spirits of his lot are angels of destruction. They walk in the laws of darkness. Towards it goes their only desire. That's from the War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness, one of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Belial is the leader of the Sons of Darkness. Mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, the Geneva Bible, in the Geneva Bible mentioned as the wicked. So part of the reason is that Belial also can refer to worthless, and some people refer to it as yokeless. Yeah. So you got to be careful who you're yoking with. That's why God said don't be unequally yoked. Let no one deceive you in any way, for it will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness, the son of destruction, is revealed. Well, I just revealed him. But we haven't fully seen it yet, I don't think. But literally, this is from like us standing by, like Christians, and just for years standing by, not speaking up against when they mock, like the Last Supper. Like, people that believe in Jesus need to stand up against that, because when we throw those values to the side, then what we do is bring in more of that heresy, which is why we literally have Drag Time Story Hour. We have the most unethical things going on in this country, most depraved things, because we're literally at fault for it. I mean, like, everybody thinks, oh, God is so mean, he's bringing destruction down. No, it ends, the people do it themselves. Literally. Like, I've read enough of these. Like, yes, God sends prophets to tell the kings, and the kings hardly ever listen. God will tell them exactly what to do to save themselves, and they'll almost always go off on their own or do not listen or think it's silly. The prophets are silly. And then what happens to them? They go to their destruction because of themselves. We